welcome to Frankston North Rotary Couch Conversations. My name is Beverly and we have a double whammy today. We have two guests from Kananook Primary School. We have the Principal Michael Block and the Assistant Principal Stuart Gilchrist. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good on you. Hey, thanks for coming along. Frankston North Rotary has been quite instrumental in creating a Chook Shed, a chicken shed for the school. And I'm really curious to start with a little question to either of you. Why did you deem it important for the school to have this sort of enclosure and this sort of chook shed as part of the school?
I'll go first if that's okay. We went on an excursion or a camp at the early part of last year in February, and we had the pleasure of going to a farm camp, and we saw the kids interact with the chickens on this particular camp at Woorabinda. And once we saw the response that the kids had to the chicken, the enjoyment, the calmness they felt around them, and their immersion and participation with wanting to work with the chooks, we thought it was pretty important that we look at the possibility of having some at Kananook Primary School.
Wow, that's fabulous. So, Michael, you actually noticed an emotional influence, if you like, on the children. I think that's wonderful, especially when we can get children engaged with animals at such an early age. It kind of creates a little bit of empathy and compassion, doesn't it?
Stuart witnessed one young man who reacted very positively, and I think he'd probably be happy to share that experience. Would you, Stuart?
Yeah. So we had obviously all of our senior children on the camp, and we had a couple who were vulnerable, I guess is the best way of putting it, and had a bit of a history of being a bit challenging at times, I guess. And one in particular, as Michael said, we just connected. It was absolutely amazing to see the calming influence that the chooks had with this child. He sat himself down in mud with a chook under his arm and just sat there stroking it, gave it a name, and was just in a whole different world. And when one of the teachers who was running the activity said, "Look, it's time to put the hens away now," this boy put the hen down and off it went. And then they said, "Oh, no, you don't put it down, you've got to actually take it in." So off he went and collected it again under his arm, walked along stroking it, and it was just, it was unbelievable to see. Really, really quite heart-wrenching.
Yeah, so, and how rewarding for you as professional educators and, you know, your teaching staff to actually see a change created in the interaction in animals. I work in the world of brain health and brain fitness. So I refuse to use the word mental health. I think we have a more positive connotation about seeking for help when we talk about brain health and brain fitness. And from my studies and experience, I actually know that the way to help self-worth, self-esteem is to task somebody to do something. One of the little things you can do. So when a child's actually got some task outside of self to do better for something else, like complete something, they feel good about themselves. So what a wonderful experience you've just had. You've just shared the story of, you know, exactly what that happened, to be able to be outside of self and actually think about another creature and do something for the betterment of them. And it's, you know, it just helps the self-esteem and self-worth of the child. I think that's wonderful. Yeah, thanks for sharing that story. Now, Stuart, I believe you were quite instrumental in getting Frankston North involved, Frankston North Rotary. So what was the help that the Rotary Club provided to the school to actually get this off the ground and get it happening?
Okay, I won't take claim to that because Michael was the main driver there and had the connection with them.
Michael, thank you.
So I think might be the best one to answer.
Oh, certainly. Thank you, Michael. So what was the help that Frankston North Rotary were able to give you guys to actually get this going?
In 2018, we had the president of at that time, Ian McConnell, travel to India with us on a student exchange program. And Ian was wonderful in the support he gave us and the help with the kids. And I also developed, a relationship with him and a friendship. And it became apparent after that time the great work that Rotary North Club did. And he spoke to me about some of the ways we could be involved with raffles, community raffles and different projects. I attended a couple of meetings as a guest of Ian's, and I became aware of the project, the chicken shed that they had constructed at Monterey Secondary College, and then the offer was put on the table for us. And when Stuart and I had this wonderful experience on the farm camp, we thought that we had a good space for this project to proceed with, and we had a vision about what we wanted to achieve. And Ian and the wonderful team of men came down for about 2 weeks and built the chicken sheds, and they were beautifully engineered. And they actually spent quite some time with some kids in grade 6 who really benefit from having role models at that particular time, and having some gentlemen around with some wisdom and knowledge of the world that they could talk to, and that benefited us greatly as well. So it really stemmed from a good relationship with Ian McConnell, who was the then president, and his work with us, and the ideas really stem from Ian. So it's a big thank you to him.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Good on you for reaching out, and good on you for tapping into the talents, because a Rotary Club has people from all walks of life, and it's not that there's one skill there. Somebody knows someone who's got a skill, and together there's so much that it's the old team effort, isn't it? Like TEAM, together everyone achieves more. You pull everyone together, and someone knows someone who knows something. It can help you with something. So I think it's great. Thank you for sharing that. So you gentlemen would, sorry, Stuart, you thought of something.
I was just going to add to that. The other thing it did achieve was we had a couple of working bees.
Yeah.
So it actually brought in some parents from our own school community to get involved and work with the Rotary members and our staff, like Michael, myself and a few other staff members. Got out there and we were digging holes and helping put posts in, etc. So it really pulled together the wider community to complement the work being done by the Rotary team, which was really good. We put on a barbecue after it. So there was that real sense of everyone putting in, as you say, in that team environment.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? Especially when the school community can get together. There's a united purpose to get together, but everyone brings something, even if you can turn the sausages on the barbecue. Like, happy days, that's a contribution of being part of something bigger. And we can get out of our own stuck state when we actually put our focus on to create something for community and something that can connect everyone. I love that. Thank you. Now, just to kind of wrap our little chat up, because we like to keep it nice and brief, but I'm curious if you wouldn't mind sharing, how have you noticed this Chook Shed benefit the school? How has it brought great benefits to the children or to the parents or to the staff? What have you noticed?
For me, the outcomes have exceeded far more than what I thought they would. First of all, just the sheer joy of the kids around the chickens and the fun they have with them. Secondly, we purchased the chickens during a COVID time, which is a bit challenging. And Stuart went out and got 10 sets of keys for the locks, and we organised a roster for parents to open the locks on the gates and come and feed the birds during the holidays. And the benefit there has been a stronger connection with a parent body that's not directly related to the student learning, but binds us together in terms of a better working relationship and connection, and I guess friendship with the parent body and some of the parents that we would least expect to connect further with us, that have really enjoyed the experience and brought us closer together, which in effect benefits the child, because the more parents involved in schools, the better outcomes for kids in general. So they're the two greatest benefits for me. Stuart probably thought of some other things, no doubt.
Yeah, for me, obviously the things that Michael said, definitely. But in addition to that, the hens that we purchased or sourced were expatriate hens. So we've had the teachers actually talk to the kids about rescuing hens from that environment and putting them into our setting, which was a good lesson in itself. And then another curriculum spin-off from it is we've got a kitchen garden, and we've already had kids who are on site at the moment during these times that we're in, but they've gone to the kitchen and they made omelettes the other week using the eggs that were from our hens. So that was just another utilisation of the whole project, I guess. So there's going to be spin-offs all around. It's really, really good.
That's fabulous. I love the life skills that you bring to the children too. So the learning environment, has clearly the structured learning environment is so important in school. However, there's the life skills there, isn't there? Working together, taking care of something else, being able to take what you've grown and create something from it, and really fulfilling for the children, the parents and the staff. So what an exciting project that you've created as a result of being a part of reaching out to Frankston North Rotary and getting their support to create it. Hey, on behalf of every parent out there, I'd just like to say to you, Michael and Stuart, and to all your staff, thank you for being fabulous educators. Thank you for loving what you do and making a difference to your children beyond reading, writing, maths, as people of my generation knew about school. So you've created a real wholesome learning environment by thinking outside the box. I just want to say hats off to you and all your staff, and to every teacher who watches this. Thank you for the wonderful job you do taking care of our children and our future generation of thinkers, creators, innovators, and the builders of the future. So you guys do a great job, and sometimes we just need a moment to take a word, a little moment to say, I notice the job you do and thank you for doing it. So on behalf of all at Frankston North Rotary, we love being a part of the project, and thank you for inviting us to help you create something wonderful for your kids.
You're very welcome, Bev, and thank you to all the team at Frankston North Rotary.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
You've been listening to Couch Conversations brought to you by Frankston North Rotary. To discover more about Rotary, ask a question, explore if Rotary is ideal for you, please connect on our Facebook page or via email.